guys, Union Pacific Omaha here. Now today we're starting a new series, going to be called Product Comparisons. So today we are going to be doing the Walthers Mainline ES44 AC versus the Bachmann ES44 AC. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first off, I know there are going to be differences because these are not the same road name. This is obviously the N&W Heritage unit, and then this is just a standard UP paint. So there are going to be road-specific details that are a little different, but other than that, there shouldn't be too much difference. So we're going to get right into this now. So I'm going to bring the camera a little closer. I'm going to lower it just a little. There we go. So we're going to look at the front of the locomotives first. So here is the Bachmann, and here is the Walthers. Lower that down a little. Focus. Let's take a look at the Walthers Mainline first. So there's not too much detail on the front. We have ditch lights, which sadly are very dim. These are pretty much useless, the ditch lights. And then down on the plow, there isn't anything. We have a coupler, we have the plow itself, and there's nothing else. We have the standard UP shield, wing and flat wings here. Nice gray up here. I believe this is prototypical. I believe these yellows here on the corners are also prototypical. We have sand filler hatches, non-lit number boards. This is obviously number 7500. You can see in the cab there a little. We have a detailed cab in there, just a little. We have the here's a little gap there for where they'd walk down into the nose of the unit. We have two control stands here. Then there are two chairs in there for each crewman. So let's now move over and look at the Bachmann. So it's much more detailed down here. We have the plow, the MU, the cables and stuff. We have the air hose with the coupler, and then we have, I forgot what this hose is, the red one. I'm forgetting now, but we have really sturdy handrails here, the grab irons, the chain thing in the middle here, which I'm forgetting the name of, and detail on the nose itself. It's molded in. We have grab irons here, but they're molded in. We have no headlight here, obviously. Both doors are obviously on the left side of the unit. We have the N&W logo here. That is prototypical. We do have grab irons up here, though. Sand filler hatches. Non-lit number boards, 8103. We do have, though, windshield wipers, and there is a little detail on the inside of the cab. I do see chairs in there, so that's good as well. So I would, for the front of the unit, I'm gonna have to give it to the to the NS unit, the Bachmann locomotive. Now, in terms of value, these are about similar. I found the NS in between 99 and 150. That's what they're ranging at about now, and the Walthers Mainline is anywhere from probably 110 to 170 or 80. But we'll get into more value as we take a closer look at the units and their sounds. So these are both DCC sound units. So now let's move to the side of the locomotives. So I will move the Walthers out of the way, and let's take a look at the Norfolk and Western. I am now on my knee, so the audio might sound a little different. So I'm gonna move the camera a little closer. There we go. Okay, let's start here. So there isn't too much detail. We have the wind shade, or not the wind shade, the sunshade, and there's not too much detail on the side. This is all molded in here. Forgot what these vents are. I believe they're for dynamic braking. We have the grab iron or handrails here. Refocus that. That looks weird. Anyway, down in the trucks, it's all molded in pretty much. We have one cable here that isn't molded in. It's pretty standard. The trucks look good. It looks all good pretty much right here. So let's now, much better. Nope, better. Okay, so on the fuel tank, there is a little filler hatch here and there, and then here's the level. But that's all pretty much standard detail. It looks good. Then we move up a little. That looks really odd. Oh well. We have the Norfolk and Western sign here. We have some detail here. This is all pretty much all molded in. Nothing separate here. Here's the Nathan K5HL, which it looks okay, but yeah, that's good enough. Good enough. We have the exhaust here, and then let's move to the radiator fans. Move down a little. So down here, there's nothing really, it's all molded in, but it looks decent to me. Handrails on this are really sturdy. We have the handbrake you can set here, and that's pretty much going to do it. Let's go over the top real quick, I guess, too. It's all pretty much all molded in. We have, I believe that's an emergency exit there. More details here. I don't remember. I have no idea what some of these go to. All these hatches, all pretty much molded in. The radiator fans look accurate. Looks good. So that's going to do it for the side and top of the Bachmann unit. So let's move on to the Walthers Mainline. Okay, we're here taking a look at the Walthers Mainline unit now. So let's get right into this. So the truck detail, I would say pretty much the same. At the front here, there is some more detail. There's a hose here. I don't know what that's for. I don't remember what this is for either. I don't even know what that is. I feel pretty stupid for not knowing all this stuff. But anyway, we have crisp detail lettering on the number 7500, and it says C44 AC CTE there, which that's what UP calls some of their ES44 ACs. Did I just say? I don't even know. ES44 ACs. So that's their own name rendition on this type of unit. And then we'll stay down here. Nice Building America sign. Here's the Graham White E-bells right there. Looks good. They do not have that on the Bachmann unit. Handrails here are fairly sturdy as well. Dynamic braking, fans or grills, whatever those are. Not exactly sure. A lot of this is molded in as well, but it still looks good to me. We have the flag here. That looks good. Here's the K5HL, which looks better than it does on the Bachmann unit. Pretty much standard stuff down here. We have the gauge that shows how much fuel you have, fuel cap. Let's move a little farther back. Yeah, trucks look good. We have the radiator fans, air, or handbrake that you can set. So on the sides, it's pretty much same detail besides having the flag and the Norfolk and Western sign. So it's all pretty much the same. Let's move to the top real quick. Looks pretty much the same as well. No detail on the top of the cab, except for there are the sunshades, but there's no emergency exit or any sort of PTC stuff like that. Pretty much same, except different colors on the top. So that's going to do it for the sides of these units. Now let's move to the back. Okay, as you can see, the NS one is just a little bit taller than the Walthers Mainline unit, but let's look at the details here. Let's start with the Walthers Mainline locomotive. So there's pretty much absolutely no detail on the back. There's the headlight, sand, I believe that's a sand filler as well. We have these little molded in hose things or cable connections. This is prototypical to have the white handrails here, I believe. And then we have the little chain thing. So pretty much no detail on the back of this unit, but it does look good despite there being no details. Let's take a look at the Bachmann unit now. It's kind of hard to see, but there is the rear headlight there. It says 8103, it says 7500 here. That's prototypical. They don't have number boards. We have the sand filler hatch, N&W logo, and then, oops, there, focus. Okay, let's move this guy out of the way. Okay, that's better. So this is prototypical, I believe. Rear ditch lights on the NS units. We have the connections here, and then we have this red thing that I don't remember of, this red cable. So there's much more detail on the back. In way of detail on these units, I'm going to have to give it to the Bachmann. So as of now, I would say the Bachmann, even though the one problem is Bachmann only made the NS Heritage units, and Walthers makes a variety of paints, normal schemes. Not the cool schemes, I don't know why I was going to say that, the special schemes. There's a lot more in the way of color and variety with the Walthers Mainline. So this is about, I'd say, half of the race is for detail, and I'm going to have to give it to Bachmann. So Bachmann wins detail. Let's go take a look at the sounds. Okay, guys, so track power is currently off. I'm going to turn it on now. So let me do that. So as you can hear, there's no startup sequence with the Bachmann units. You turn the track power on, and they automatically start up. So I still have this one programmed as 3. I just haven't gotten around to changing it yet, since I don't run it as often as I should, because, you know, it's not really prototypical to have a NS Heritage unit on pretty much all Union Pacific layout. So we'll adjust that a little bit. Alright, better. So F0 is going to turn on our headlight, which is high mounted. That's prototypical for Norfolk Southern. F1 is going to be the bell. That is prototypical. It is the Graham White E-bell, but it is a little slow. I know in the CVs you can change it to make it faster, but it's too fast then, so I keep it on the slow. So let's listen to the horn now. That's a first generation Nathan K5HL, which is prototypical. So now that was just, the horn is very playable. That was all just with F2. Here's F3. That is the short horn. So let's now press F4. That is our dynamic brakes. So F5, I'm pretty sure, F5 turns on our ditch lights. Let's focus back in on the unit. F6 does nothing, I'm pretty sure. F7, nothing. F8 mutes our locomotive. F9, nothing. F10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is going to be nothing as well. So, let's get this thing moving and take a look. Ooh. So let's get it moving. So this is at speed step 1, and obviously the locomotive, I have it set for 28 speed steps. This locomotive does not move at speed step 1. Give it to speed step 2, and it's a very slow crawl. Not very slow, but it's a slow crawl. It's a little iffy. Speed step 3. Turn the camera here. Yes, I just dropped my remote, I know. Alright, I'll turn him around in a second. I have them in reverse at speed step 4. The ditch light, rear ditch lights are functional, so they are on right now. So, let's talk engine sounds. I think that these engine sounds are okay. I don't think they're the most realistic or most prototypical, but I think it does sound good. In the way of pulling power, my layout is pretty small, or compared to most people's. It's 4.5 feet wide and 16 feet long. So I've maybe had it pull 20 cars at the most by itself, and it did pretty much just fine. So we're gonna move on to the Walthers Mainline now. Okay, I still have track power on, and as you can see, nothing is happening. I can still use the functions if I want to, but nothing. It's not gonna move. And that is because this one does have a startup sequence. So let's start her up. It is hold F0, and this one will come as loco number programmed as 3. I've reprogrammed it to 7500, which is its road number. But hold F8 and the locomotive will start up. Now right now the startup sequence is not done. If I try to move the locomotive, it's not going to move. It holds higher RPMs, not whatever it's trying to be in right now. It'll stay there for a little while. It'll go back down to normal, do some more stuff, and then it will. You'll be able to move it. So let's go with F0. We'll turn on our headlight, main headlight, which is bright. It's not the brightest, but it's good enough. F1. Oh, yeah, there goes the RPM. F1 is going to be our bell. Which is also the Graham White E-bell. It sounds better, and it's in. It rings as fast as it should, unlike the Norfolk Southern Bachmann model. Here's the horn, which is a Nathan K5HL, second or third generation, I'm not sure. Sounds good, very prototypical. F3 does the coupler clank and coupler uncouple. And then here's F4, which I believe does nothing. F5, I don't know what that does exactly. I don't think it does anything. F6 turns on our ditch lights, as you can see, are pretty dim. They look somewhat bright from this camera angle, but they are very, very dim, which is unfortunate, but I can't do anything about it. F7 does that sequence, which I don't know what it is. I'm forgetting, you know, this noise. All the GE locomotives do it. The ES44s do it. The ET44s do it. The -9s do it. The AC44s do it. And I'm really glad Walthers got that in there. That's extremely prototypical. You'll just be sitting next to one of these when they're sitting, and they'll just start doing it. And sometimes it lasts 30 seconds. Sometimes it lasts 2 minutes. But they all do it, and it sounds prototypical. And the furnace is turning on, so that might be some unfortunate noise. Now F8 is going to shut the locomotive down. Which, as you can see, just kind of quietly turns the prime mover down, and it just slowly comes to a stop. Now I pressed it twice so it would turn on when the turn back on after it shuts down. So it's going to do its little sequence here. Now when it was turning on the first time, I didn't press the F7 button to do that sequence. It does it on its own randomly. You'll just be watching it go by, and it will do that sequence like it is right now. I think it's cool that it does it automatically. I don't know how often the GE units do it, but they do it frequently. There's been tons of times where the GEs have passed me and they start doing that. So that's very, very prototypical. So in the way of sounds, I'm going to have to give it to Walthers. For a locomotive at this price point, I think they've included the basic features and done a really great job, especially with the engine and prime mover sounds. So, this guy's gonna hopefully finish starting up soon, and we'll get him going. So I believe he's ready to go. Let's get him going. Oh, well, he didn't finish the startup sequence. I have him at, here he goes, 1 speed step. Here's 2. 3. 4. 5, and 6. There's another nice feature. When you bring this thing to a quick stop, it will do the whole kind of, brake squeal noise. So let's get this guy going in reverse. The horn on this unit is also very playable. He's coming here at 3 speed steps, and the speed steps are much more slowly picking up than on the Bachmann model, which I find that more prototypical and realistic. Because trains, when they're running with a whole train, they can't pick up speed very quick. Usually heavy and a slow-moving procedure. But when they're engine light, they can pick up speed very quickly if they want. So here's my final opinion. If you want road names like Kansas City Southern, Canadian Pacific, Canadian National, UP, BNSF, and you want a nice valued model that has realistic sounds, not the most detail, this Walthers Mainline is for you. If you don't care what paint scheme you find with any, or you really like the NS Heritage locomotives, and you're looking for a cheap unit with okay detail, sounds are okay, the Bachmann is for you. So I really, personally, I would take the Walthers Mainline any day over the Bachmann. Even if the Bachmann had all the paint schemes, I would take the Walthers Mainline just because of the sounds. I think they're just way better. In looking at unopinionated, just looking at the model's baseline and comparing, I would say it's really up to you on which one you would choose. So for me, I would take the Walthers Mainline. If you would like the Bachmann, that's fine. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this product comparison video. I'm going to be doing more soon with freight cars and maybe other locomotives too. It's just, I don't know where I'm going with it yet. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching. And Union Pacific Omaha out.